Hello students, in chapter 1 network fundamentals, our topic is data communication and its components. Now the term data communication, it's a combination of two terms. One is data and second is communication. Data refers to information. That information may be present in any form like text, audio, video, PDF files, etc. anything. And the communication means sharing of this information. Sharing of information means, let's see an example, means when we are communicating, we are sharing information. That sharing may be a local or remote. Means when we two friends are sitting together and discussing some topic, that is a local communication. And the same two friends are sitting apart, means over some distance, like one friend in Delhi and second in Mumbai, and they are doing WhatsApp chit chat or video call. If that communication is a remote communication, remote communication takes place over some distance. Now, when we combine these two terms, data and communication, then the definition becomes data communication is the exchange of data between two devices via some form of transmission medium. Okay, exchange of the data, or you can say the sharing of the information. Okay, and this data communication becomes effective when our systems depends on the fundamental characteristics. Here we are discussing about four fundamental characteristics. The first one is delivery. Delivery means, you understand very well, means the data is delivered to the correct destination. You send a message to your friend and he received the message only, but this is the correct delivery. When we send a message to our friend but that is received by someone else, that is not a correct delivery. So delivery is an important characteristic related to data communication. Only the particular recipient or the intended device will receive the message. Second is accuracy. Accuracy means the system must deliver the data accurately. Data is not changed in the transmission medium due to some type of noise or some distortion type of problem, or you can say due to some hacking type of attacks. Data is received as accurate as sent by the sender. Next is timeliness. Timeliness means the system must deliver data in a timely manner. Example means your friend send you a message now, but you not received the message current time. You received that message after 2 days. That message is not useful for you. Means data delivered late are useless. That are not for our use. Okay. So timeliness is also a very important characteristics to make our data communication effective. Means timely delivery means delivering of the data as is wanted by the particular recipient or the particular machine, or as the data is produced by the machine, same as it is, and on the same time the data is going for the delivery. Next is jitter. Jitter means sometimes you see during the video conferencing or video calls on Google Meet or in Zoom app or in so many like WhatsApp video call, you see sometimes your video get blurred or your audio is not coming properly. That time the variation comes in your packets. Okay, means some packets are received on the time and some packets are received due to some delay. So that time the delay of that packet affect the quality, okay, of your video or your audio. So the jitter refers here is the variation in the packet arrival time, and that variation is very important with minimum delays. Otherwise our data communication is not an effective. Okay, because timeliness is very important, and when the packets are not arrived on time, that is not a useful thing. So these are the four fundamental characteristics which are used to make our data communication effective. Next is data communication components. Data communication components are very important to know here, because during the discussion of our models in the computer network, In the physical layer, we discuss about these components and the working of these components one by one. And in the upper layer of our OSI models, we will learn about how these devices or these components are working in a proper way in our machine in the form of different layers or in different protocols. Now, the data communication system have 5 components. In the diagram you see, we have sender, we have receiver, network medium, message or protocols. These are the components. The first one is message. Message means the information that is to be communicated, means the information that is to be shared between the sender and the receiver. Okay, that information may be anything like simple message, text, audio, video, etc. And the second component is sender. Sender, or sometimes in different textbooks you find here the word source also. Source also. Source or the sender is the machine or the device that generates the data and send the data to the receiver. Okay. Next is receiver. Receiver is the device that receives the data or the message sent by the sender. Transmission system, or sometimes we say it is transmission medium. Transmission system or medium is the path. That path may be a physical path. Physical path you can say means wired physical path. You can say the sender and receiver are connected by a wire, or that wire may be any LAN cable over some distance, or maybe they are directly connected to each other. Or maybe the logical path. Logical path means say our sender and receiver are the part of some complex network. Some complex network. Like you see, here is our sender, and we have so many networks, and these networks are connected through these routers, and here is our receiver. This is a complex network, and in this complex network, our sender and receiver are wirelessly connected to the routers. Okay, so transmission system or transmission medium can be a single transmission line, or maybe a complex network which connects the sender and the receiver, or you can say the source and the destination. Okay, and this is the physical path or the logical path through which the messages travel from the sender device to the receiver device. Next term is protocol. Protocol is generally the set of rules that governs the data communication. Means we see in our hardware manufacturing, we have so many manufacturers like Intel, AMD, which manufacture our computer devices or our simple communication devices. So everyone have different way to represent the data. Someone are using the Little Indian format, or someone are using the Big Indian format. So due to that different data representation, we may face some problems. One manufacturer data representation may be not understood by the another one. So to make that understanding, we need some rules, and that rules are called protocols. Okay, here the sender is sending the data by following these rules, and receiver is also receiving the data and process the data according to that rules. Due to that, they understand each other communication, each other data language, okay, each other data representation. So in a single line we say protocol represents an agreement between the communication devices. Okay, to understand this one, we take a simple example like protocol define the format. Format, as we already discussed, how the data is being represented, the order of message sent and received by the sender and the receiver. Sender is sending the message. First packet is received by the receiver. Packet number 3 is received by the receiver. Packet 2 is missed between that. Means that delivery is not an effective delivery. That affects our communication. So to make these things effective, we need some protocols. Okay. So, and what are the actions taken on message transmission and recipient? Means, as we discussed, packet 2 is dropped or missed in the transmission medium due to some error. So the receiver will alert or send a message to the sender, your packet number 2 is missed. I am not able to process the information further. Please resend me the packet number 2. So this type of rules are used to make our communication effective. So here the term or here the protocols are important. Now protocols, we understand this. Without a protocol, two devices may be connected but not communicating. Like we see here, a person is know English. He is able to understand and speak English very well. Second person know Hindi. He is able to speak and understand Hindi very well. Okay. The English person saying a message hi to person who know Hindi. He does not understand. Cannot be understood by the person. Send second message. Got the time. Because he not understand this message because he not know the English language. He not know the English language. So they are communicate. They are connected to each other. This one is connected to this one, but they are not able to communicate because of the understanding. Because of the understanding problem. So to make this understanding, we need protocols. Here between human beings, we can use some translator who can translate Hindi to English and English to Hindi. Okay, so this way protocols are very important in our devices or in our machines also to understand the format, to understand the particular order of message or very common things that are needed for making our communication effective. Protocols examples if we see simple like PPP protocol, point to point protocol, SMTP protocol. Some example if we see of the protocols, SMTP protocol, POP protocol, like our Ethernet, you can say Ethernet used for the LAN. So many protocols we have: IP protocol, TCP protocol, UDP protocol. These are the examples of protocol we will study in our coming chapters. Next term is modem. Here modem is act as a translator or you can say the transmitter. Modem is making our communication effective. Here we know in the machines our data is represented in the form of bit strings, but in network this data is travel in the form of signals, and in the receiver side also it is in the form of data. So to convert this data into signals and again at the receiver side to convert this signal into data, we need a transmitter or we need a modulator or demodulator which encode the data into message and again decode the signal into data. Okay, so modem here is change the forms of data. Okay, at the sender side we see the data is generated by the sender. It is not sent in its native form. We need to convert this one into signals, and these signals are travel from the sender side to the receiver side, and again these signals are need to convert into data. Okay, and the particular data convert is sent to the upper layers in the device to process that data and read what is data sent by the sender and what is the useful information the receiver is received. Okay, so here modem is act as a transmitter at the sender side which converts the data into signal, and here it is simply act as a receiver which converts the signal into the data again. So these are the some components which are used in our data communication. Message, first one as we discussed in the video, the first one was message, second is sender, third is receiver, fourth one is the network medium, fifth is protocol, and the next is modem. Modem is a device used to convert data into signal and again signal into data. We will learn in the coming chapters in the physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, application layer. in a sender machine or in a receiver machine, how this message is useful or encoded or processed to make the particular information useful, to understand what the information or data is sent by the sender, and also learn about how we add some security entities to make our communication secure. Okay, so these are the components. Now, thank you.